Good God, man. If the Big Show defeated Drew McIntyre to become the WWE Champion tonight, I don't think I would be here because I'd probably have a stroke. But Drew McIntyre retained. We will talk about it right here on this Monday Night Raw review. What's going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your Monday Night Raw review, Raw after WrestleMania review on Monday, April 6th, 2020. Short intro as I'm exhausted and I want to get right into the stuff that happened tonight. I just want to get this off really quickly. Besides two things on this show, the opening match with Asuka and Liv Morgan, and Aleister Black and Apollo Crews. This show was not good tonight. This episode of Monday Night Raw was not good at all, besides two things. And I'm not going to say it was the worst Raw after WrestleMania of the ever, because there's no crowd, and the crowd makes the Raw after WrestleMania special. But there's, besides two things, I thought the show's completely garbage tonight. We've seen a 35-minute segment with the Profits, Garza and Theory, Bianca Belair, and Selena Vega. We'll talk about that. Nia Jax, Miss Botch, made her return tonight as well. We'll also talk about that and my thoughts on Miss Botch, Nia Jax, returning. That's her nickname that I'm calling her from now on the channel. Nia Jax will be referred to as Miss Botch. And finally, that main event, Big Show versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. We'll talk about it right here on the Monday Night Raw review. Before I start talking about the Monday Night Raw episode tonight, make sure you guys go check out both of my WrestleMania reviews for Night 1 and Night 2 with Eddie Mullins, the other man, my co-partner right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Check out both about both Night 1 and Night 2 WrestleMania reviews that I did with Eddie Mullins. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw tonight. So this opened up with Asuka and Liv Morgan. Very good match, by the way. This was I wouldn't say very good match. I'd say it was a decent match. Liv Morgan hung in there with one of the toughest women that the WWE have in Asuka. The match lasted about 12-13 minutes. Liv Morgan tapped out to the Asuka lock. No shame in that. Asuka got the win, and there's no shame that Liv Morgan tapped out to Asuka in 13 minutes. She hung in there with one of the best women's wrestlers in the locker room. She fought hard. Lots of unique offense from Liv Morgan, and you know what, man? I've been really impressed with Liv Morgan's stuff she's been doing. Ever since after the Elimination Chamber. It's my Elimination Chamber shirt that I got at the show at March, but since the Elimination Chamber, Liv Morgan has impressed me a lot. The match with Natalya, even though it was short, she got put over by Natalya, and then she had a good match with Asuka tonight, and she lost, but she looked really good in defeat, so you got to give it to Liv Morgan, and hopefully we see more of her on Monday Night Raw. She's really improved, man. She has really improved. So after that, we saw Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza again for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Absolutely no reason why Austin Theory and Angel Garza went 35 minutes, but My God. We had a DQ with this match. Okay, the match was okay for what it was. The match lasted like 8 minutes. We had a DQ in this match. Zelina Vega got involved, and then Bianca Belair's debut tonight was atrocious. Now, I love I love me some Bianca Belair. I think she's awesome. She's a great athlete. She's really good at what she does, but my God, her her husband, Montez Ford, is getting his ass kicked in the ring. And she comes out and she's making her full blown entrance. She is twirling her hair, spinning around. She's skipping to the ring, and her husband's getting his ass kicked. She's like, yeah, no problem. She's going to make her normal entrance. So that was really, that looked horrible. And then she cut a promo challenging Zelina Vega to a match, and Zelina Vega was on stage, and she cut a promo to the hard cam that was across from her, and not directly to Zelina Vega. That came off atrocious. Really, really bad. This was not a good night for Bianca Belair at all. And then we had Belair versus Zelina Vega. And what do you think happens next, folks? Ends in a disqualification. So this match ends in a DQ because Austin Theory and Montez Ford are brawling on the outside. So all of a sudden we need a DQ because we had a brawl on the outside. And then we get a 6-man tag. And at the end of this, I was like, you know what, man? I just end this segment, please. End this segment. It was mind-boggling. We had 3 matches between these 6 superstars in 35 minutes. All 6 of these wrestlers got 35 minutes in a segment with 3 matches, and it was atrocious. And at this point, I didn't even look up from my cell phone. I did not even bother watching this match. You'd be lucky if I watched this match. And it just came off like, oh my God, it irritated me. Imagine if this was in front of a crowd, okay? Raw after WrestleMania. You got a really atrocious segment like this with 3 matches and 35 segments. That crowd would have been chanting CM Punk. They would have been singing songs. They would have been doing the wave, beach ball, you name it, man. This crowd would be going bananas over stuff and not give a shit about the match whatsoever. This was horrible. This was a horrible segment. 3 matches in 35 minutes, and the feud's probably not even over. And I'm kind of already getting tired of the feud too. And it started last night at WrestleMania. We're bound to get another Street Profits, Austin Theory, Angel Garza match. It's coming. It's coming, folks. Aleister Black versus Apollo Crews. Match was really good stuff from Black and Crews. Physical match. This has probably been the best that Apollo Crews has looked since being on the main roster for 5 years now. That's ridiculous in its own right, but before I talk about the match, so Apollo Crews is making this entrance, okay? And I'm like, didn't we see Apollo on SmackDown against Sheamus a few weeks ago? And Tom Phillips made a commentary, and he said Apollo Crews is now a member on Monday Night Raw because his draft pick has expired on SmackDown Live. His draft pick was going to expire on SmackDown Live, so he's coming over on Monday Night Raw right now. That makes no sense whatsoever. And Tom Phillips did a horrendous job trying to make sense of this. And he was like, um, his draft picks expired on SmackDown. So now he's a Monday Night Raw superstar. That's like saying like freaking LeBron James got traded from the Los Angeles Lakers back to the Cavaliers, okay? And he's on the team for 6 months. And 6 months later, he's like, oh, your free agency has expired. You got to go back to Los Angeles. Like, that makes no sense. Makes no sense. WWE makes no sense with this stuff whatsoever, and they don't care. They don't care whatsoever. But that was one problem. The other problem with the match was for Aleister Black Apollo Crews match. Okay, I expected this to be a squash. I totally went into this expecting Apollo Crews to lose to Aleister Black in 3 minutes. And this match lasted 3 commercial breaks, and the match went 28 minutes. 28 minutes for a Aleister Black Apollo Crews match. Now, don't get me wrong. Those guys had a really damn good match against each other. It was by far, I mean, not even close, by far the best thing on the entire show tonight. But my God, that match did not need to be 28 minutes. At that point, you're just telling me that you're trying to kill time and you don't really care. Between this and the stuff with the Profits, Garza, and Theory, these two things went over an hour. Shows that WWE did not have any creativity and said, you know what, go out there and have a 25 plus minute match. Have a 28-minute match. But, I mean, that's the only negatives I got about the match. The rest of the stuff, Apollo Crews brung the fight to Aleister Black. This would be a really good U.S. title feud for a few weeks between Aleister Black and Apollo Crews. Could you imagine if this match was on a big pay-per-view stage and they delivered a great match like this? Never mind Bobby Lashley and Aleister Black being a match. You could have had Aleister Black issue an open challenge to anybody in the locker room at WrestleMania. You could have had Apollo Crews answer it. And then you could have had the match they had tonight at WrestleMania. Well, what's the problem with that? There's a huge problem with that to me. And then you could have had the Bobby Lashley Aleister Black match tonight on Monday Night Raw. I don't get it, man. But this was a great match. Really damn good match. And at the end of it, Black gets the Black Mass. I'm debating if I want to go back and watch this match again. But I probably won't. But whatever. But then, after this match, the show just got worse, in my opinion. We saw Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. This was fine. 4 minutes, it's whatever. Ricochet and Cedric get their first win as an actual tag team. And I like this a lot. Cedric and Ricochet have nothing to go for each other. So why not put really two talented guys together who have nothing to do together in the tag team division? Plus, Monday Night Raw has no tag teams outside of the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits, really. I can't even consider Garza and Theory an actual tag team. Because we'll have to see what happens when Andrade gets back. But I don't consider them a tag team. And with adding Ricochet and Cedric, it's good. It adds more depth into the tag team division, which is what we need on Monday Night Raw. And it gives both these guys something to do. They're a high-flying and they're an exciting tag team. Kind of reminds me of Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne a little bit back in the day when they were Airborne. Kind of reminds me of that tag team. I could see these two, getting over really quickly, especially with little kids. They will get insanely over with the little kids, trust me. But the match was fine. It was 4.5 minutes. Ricochet pinned Danny Burch at the end of this. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was really pissed off after losing to Kevin Owens, and he took it out on a jobber. 2 minutes, nothing much, but I mean, this could lead to something. Um, we could see Rollins all pissed off for a few weeks, just destroying people. He could take a small hiatus, because why not? That wouldn't really, that could help Seth Rollins if he takes a small hiatus, in my opinion. And he could come back better than ever. He could come back like he did in 2016. And he could set up a championship match with Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. I think that could be good. We'll have to see where this aggressive Seth Rollins Monday Night Messiah character goes. Oh, you can tell the expression on my face what I'm about to talk about next. Nia Jax makes her return to television. And she's facing Deonna Purrazzo from NXT. And I'm like, why would you feed Deonna Purrazzo from NXT to Nia Jax? Don't you have your own woman that she could go up against? The match, Nia Jax hasn't changed a thing since she's been out. She's got her horrendous theme music. She sucks in the ring. She's absolutely trash. And she's got this new finisher. It's like a draping DDT. I'm kind of scared for her to use that finisher, for real. She could seriously hurt somebody, and Eddie told me this. She could seriously hurt somebody with that finisher. Their knee could be messed up, or she could cave their head in too much, and they land on their back of the neck, and they have neck surgery, and they're out for a few years again. If they're out for a few years, she could really hurt someone. And with someone who's atrocious as Nia Jax, I would not give her that finisher whatsoever. I don't trust her. I don't trust her in-ring abilities whatsoever. She's garbage. She is trash. She's gonna hurt somebody, man. I'm telling you, she's gonna hurt somebody with that finisher. I'm scared for somebody. But, I mean, as for Deonna Purrazzo, I feel really bad for her in this situation. She doesn't deserve this. She is really talented. If you've seen her work on the independent scenes, go watch it. She's really good at what she does. WWE, I mean, they've treated this woman like a piece of shit. I would not be surprised if when her contract's out, she's gone. This company's doing her no favors whatsoever, and she's young. She's very young, and she could have a brighter future somewhere else. Just WWE doesn't fit. Brandon Vink versus Humberto Carrillo. I guess this was just to get Humberto on television. This was a squash. Humberto won it. I didn't even watch the match. I took a dump during the match. So there you go. You want my thoughts on Humberto Carrillo tonight? There you go. I didn't watch the match. I'm going to skip the Charlotte segment just to save time, but the entire night this show has been surrounding around Drew McIntyre. What's the aftermath of Drew McIntyre defeating Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship? Tom Phillips says this is shocking. You're not going to believe this. This is stunning. And they taped it after WrestleMania. It's not like they even taped it on Raw, which I don't understand in the first place. I don't understand that whatsoever. So Drew is cutting a promo. He says, I can't believe I did this. His journey's been so long, and now it's worth it. And there's one man that I want to thank. I want to thank Paul Heyman. He said when Brock Lesnar kept hitting me with the F5, you know, I got back up and I hit Brock with the Claymore. Whatever. And then the Big Show comes out. He comes storming out with the referee. He says, I'm not going to wait until Monday Night Raw. I'm not going to wait until Money in the Bank. I want a match against you. I want a one-on-one match against you right now. And Drew said, I just had a match with Brock Lesnar. You're no way gonna get. You're no way. You're not gonna get a match out of me for the championship. So, Big Show slaps him. Drew's pissed. Referee raises the championship. I'm like, oh my god. They are not going to give the Big Show the WWE Championship 20 minutes after Drew McIntyre just defeated Brock Lesnar. They can't. So there's 7 minutes left on the show. The ref rings the bell. And oh my god, man. I was scared shitless about this. I was freaking out. Big Show hit a chokeslam on Drew McIntyre. I got up on my couch and I yelled, kick out, Drew, kick out. And Drew kicked out. And, you know, Drew McIntyre was getting destroyed almost through the entire match. And then he countered a chokeslam and hit a Claymore. And thank God. I mean, Big Show sold the Claymore kick pretty good, to be honest. That's the only positive about this, but my God. I almost had a stroke. I would have had a stroke if Drew McIntyre had lost the championship to the Big Show. Friggin' unbelievable. I know why Big Show got this. Because he just came out with a new movie on Netflix. So that's why they gave it to him. But how pathetic is it that Big Show storms out with a referee, slaps the face of the WWE champion, and gets a championship match like it's nothing. And Big Show gets a championship match in 2020, which is even worse. That's atrocious, man. That is absolutely a garbage decision. Thank God Drew McIntyre retained. Because if he did not retain against the Big Show, I would have freaked the hell out. My God, I probably would not even be here right now. This show, outside of Asuka and Liv Morgan and Aleister Black Apollo Crews, was completely awful. I thought this show was awful tonight. Outside of 2 things. Not a good Monday Night Raw whatsoever. But I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have not already, subscribe right here on the Big Fight Field channel. Comment down below what you thought of Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Again, I thought the show was completely awful tonight, outside the 2 things I mentioned. Like this video with the super kick. You can follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. You can follow me on Instagram at Colin_Joseph. You can follow Eddie on Twitter at EddieMoans515. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting sleep. I'm tired. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, right back on the Big Fight Field channel, for your Dark Side of the Ring review, WWF Brawl for All. Have a good night, guys.